If you ain't talking money, then I don't want to talk.
Still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Tell them still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Tell them still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Then them still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them.
Yo, what up? This is We-On-Loc Nation. You know what it is. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Not gonna be on here too very long. I think it's something that I need to. It's something that needs to be said, and it's something that needs to be addressed. But there are various people who address these same issues all the time. Hey, sisterhood, aka Sheila. I'm just gonna get straight down to it. What do you Negroes want? What is it that you want from a woman? I need to know, and I might be doing another live about it later on. But this is just like a pre-screen, a preview, a prefix of what is it that we want from a woman. What do we want from a woman that will make a man satisfied? Nothing can make anybody happy, not in these days of time. Peace, maybe. Well, I have to admit that's what a man wants is peace, and I agree. And I have no problems with that. I have no problems with this at all. And I'm going to the relationship aspect of this. I'm going to the relationship aspect of this because quite often than not, we often say the same shit to each other, even though we don't know that we're saying the same similar shit to each other. We want a woman to be submissive to us, but at the same time, our preliminary goal is to survive. We're in survival mode right at this point. There is not a bone in my body that thinks that black men hate black women, because they don't. They do not. Although there are a couple of buffoons out there that needs to get their asses whooped, and I ain't gonna mention no names. Um, those who talk down to black women, said that they're scums of the earth and they need no good. See, that's a boomerang effect, because you know there are women groups out there that hate black men so much to the point that they would have a nuisance hanging around a black man's neck on their channel. Like, if anything were to happen to them, they wouldn't. It would be a relief, a sign of relief, if anything were to happen to a black man. And this is where I come in. But you make it harder for me, and this is where you end up calling me all types of names, right? You call me all types of names. You call me a simp. You call me a panderer. But yet you don't see the workings of which you have caused all this havoc. And I can say the same thing for the women too. But for the most part, I see most live streams, and this is the point. Mostly all live streams, and I get it. This is your therapy. This is your therapy right here, because at some point in time in your life, you have experienced all types of behavior from women. Not take. I get it. I totally get it. But that's no excuse. That's no excuse for a man to go all out on a woman and expecting a different result. That's not the case. Now, as it pertains to politics, well, we're just one side. We're just one sided with everything. I mean, 90% of women voted for Kamala, 90% of men are voting for Trump. It's all a shit show, in my opinion. I could care less who wins. It's a lose-lose situation for all of us. You just don't see it. You don't see it because you think you're going to get something out the deal with. Quite frankly, you're not going to get anything out of it. You're not. I will spend hours arguing with a woman that started talking to me about horizontal issues that Obama did. Obama didn't do shit for you. Yet he's coming on somebody's program talking about we ain't shit. So when it comes to the political issue, we're separated on all. We're just so separated, and that was the white man's plan. You don't see it. You just don't see it. You don't see the forest from the trees, which is quite pathetic. I'll vote for, you know what? I might vote for him too, but he with a snow. He's got caught with a snow bunny. He got caught with that snow bunny out there. I can't do it. Plus, he's an actor. I'm so sick and tired of actors. You know what? We might well screw it. We might as well put Dwayne the Rock Johnson in there and let him run office. Hell, I'll vote. Fuck it. I'll vote for Ric Flair. Woo! I'll vote for Ric Flair. Hell, I might vote for Sanaa Lathan. I mean, you know, I might vote for Sanaa Lathan. Hey, sweetheart, how are you? How are you? I might vote for Sanaa Lathan. Hell, I might vote for um, you know, Blair Underwood. It is what it is. This is my fact. When you have a plethora of women telling you that this is your lineage, this is your lineage because you've been voting for the Democrats for so long. We've been voting Democratic for 93 years and it haven't gotten us anywhere. But a couple of trinkets here and there. A couple of trinkets here, a couple of trinkets there. This is the reason why we're so separated, is my point. And I'm getting sick and tired of it. But I can't. Oh, okay, dear. I can't fathom for the life of me why we can't stick to the script. We can't be on code. There's a reason why. There's this thing called code. But people have their own way of doing things now. And this is the reason why we are dead last. We are locked and boxed on everything. Pretty soon, we're not going to even be a voting block anymore. You don't believe me? So you do not believe me, you do not understand, you do not comprehend what I say. Well, listen to this brother right here. Fair use, fair use.
Between 30 million illegal immigrants that move any voting block power you have, it's a bad
I know
level.
how I got it. I'm exercising in the United States. I pay enough taxes to do that. And I'm not going to have one thing contribute to a decision that this country makes moving forward.
You don't understand what he just said. You should listen to him. It's a learning moment.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You really don't
I
understand
said what I
said.
said.
That was your response. Okay, well,
I do say I do.
okay, well,
That's what I'm saying. People make their mind.
and that's your problem. I can't learn. Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
So the point being is that voting for the Democratic House, when they are pushing this pathway to citizenship between 10 and 30 million illegal immigrants, what that does is if you've ever bought stock before, it's like a stock dilution. So you get $1 for $1 as it stands, but if they double the supply and you still have your same amount of the supply, then it cuts your power in half. So to do that without receiving something tangible for doing that is akin to like self-mutilation. We'll be harming ourselves more. That other reason, but just one issue. It's like 7 issues.
I know, but ethics is very big to me. And
So we got people who listen, and people who don't want to listen. So that's quite fine. I'm saying, do you get the message? Is my point. Do you get the message? Quite frankly, not, because, like I said, we're our own person. We do whatever the hell we want to do. I get it. Ryder, you're amazing. People listen. People love listening to you. You're amazing. You're amazing. So, I mean, what they would do, they listen to they would listen to the man, but do they hear? Same thing when you listen to the woman, and she spits out good points. She spits out good facts. But can we stick to what she was saying and see what we can get out of it? And let's see what the brother we could get out of this brother, and we could put 2 and 2 together to see where we can where we can come to some agreement and then work on certain aspects of what this person and that person is saying when it comes to a specific subject. But no, it's like we don't even want to put a dollar amount on it. We don't even want to put a dollar amount on it. And this is why we're stuck day one. And oh, by the way, when they do take the voting powers away from you, you're null and void. No one is going to listen to someone who is African American. Do you get the point? Nobody. I don't care what Latina, Mexican. They're not going to. Pretty soon, they're not going to be listening to Mexicans either. Their whole agenda is to get rid of people like me, to get rid of people like you. Next in line is Mexicans because they're doing the work for cheap.
And it's not ethical for me to vote for a racist person after all we've come through and after all we've fought for. So at the end of the day, these are the options we have. And like I said, it's a more ethical party. It's what should be representing the United States. It doesn't have nothing to do with a woman or a man. It's our respect. Okay, that's what it is. Ethical. Bring back the respect. And I don't see how you guys see that.
I need help. Here's why. In the next 12 months, to America.
These parties are showing who they are and respect to the country, not just a personal policy. At the end of the day, half the policy people talk about, they can't move while they're in office because it takes 4 years anyway. They're working on the last party stuff. So it's going to always be something that someone's going to have a problem with. Why they didn't do that. But at the end of the day, the ethical decision is what's ethical. And it's not ethical for us to vote for something that we've been fighting against all our life since slavery. But we're going to use a black woman as an excuse not to pick it.
Once you're not a black woman. Once you're not a black
woman.
Once you're not a black woman. But two, so Joe Biden signed 19 executive orders to crash the immigration system because they did not pass the so-called bipartisan bill. That bill was not going to deport or prevent anybody from citizenship. It was going to hire more people to push the process faster so that they could bring more and more people in. The issue is black people in general suffer whenever immigration happens, either used as a buffer class or to drive the lower wages down. When they drive those wages down, what it does is it increases our unemployment or it forces us to work at a standard that we can't have a standard of life behind. Immigration negatively affects us within our communities for that reason alone. Then you add on, it increases the demand for housing in cities like Chicago, where they just flooded us with illegal immigrants. And all of these people, these Venezuelans just got vouchers and all type of shit. The state is paying for it, and it's got us in a $1 billion budget deficit. We are getting royally fucked by these policies. This has shit to do with her being. I would love to see a black woman be a president.
You've been getting royally fucked, sir. You already gotten locked and boxed as soon as they started bringing immigrants to this country in the first place. Yet, Donald Trump talking about, said he was building the wall and everything, and he said he was going to have the Mexicans pay for it. All that was untrue. I mean, the wall is built, but it's currently not completed. So when it's something that's not complete, and you still have people crawling and scratching and crawling all over here, and this is the reason why the Venezuelans are here from jail. Most of them are from jail, and this is the reason why they're taking over your shit. But no one seems to notice. No one seems to care. It's all about what can a black woman do for me. A black woman can't do shit for you politically at this point, and the quote unquote black woman that you want in office ain't necessarily for you, because she specifically said coming out of her mouth, I'm not going to specifically do just anything for just black people. No.
Talking about fixing those policies that you're providing.
He talking about mass deportation.
He been saying
Never
he was
heard
going
it.
to
That's a
build a wall
concept?
and do
Is that a
during his
concept?
Wow, this man is sitting here telling
Concept.
me.
What do you mean they wouldn't
wait.
give him the money to build the
He's
wall? All
been
that
the
money, but they
president.
had the money to send to Ukraine. So a lot of the stuff
That's
that y'all
No,
are
he's
so
saying
arguing
why
is
do
not
y'all
Mexico
true.
believe it when he say he gonna do this? How do you have proof that he gonna do it?
Like
He
for
didn't do
example,
it. He had the opportunity to do it.
You see how we're so separated? You see how we're so separated from each other?
I feel like the
At the
problem,
end of the
the real
day,
problem we have in the black community is like a lot.
Look at poor old Darren. Look at poor old Darren in the corner over here. He's like, this is some bullshit. We can't even decide on one thing. We're just arguing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's like, I get it. It's bad enough that we have to go through this fake gender war bullshit, right? But we can't even decide on politics who to vote for. We've been pulled a wool over our eyes because a quote unquote black woman, and she is not black for the umpteenth time. This woman is not black. We've been pulled a wool over our eyes to thinking that this so-called woman is going to do something specifically, empathetically for the country. And I'm telling you, it's the same trick bag, but yet I'm not going to tell another person who to vote for. I am not going to tell a person to vote for Y when she should be voting for Z. I'm not going to do that because it's your choice. And it being your choice, you know what the rewards are going to be, but you also know what the consequences are going to be. If there's going to be any reward at all. But if this person, no matter who it is, if it's Trump or it's Kamala, if you vote for these people and they do not do anything for you, it's the exact same thing that Obama has done, nothing for Black America, guess what? And by the way, look out for the individual word, people of color. I want you to look out for that individual word, people of color. Well, we do everything. We do everything for the people of color. That's just a trick bag. If I look at the roster of who's in Supreme Court, because that's what it comes down to, is the Supreme Court. When I look at the mayors, the senators, the governors, and all these other people, when I go down the list and see these particular individuals, and I just see people who are, mixed breeds and Italians and Mexicans and Asians and shit like that, there is more less of you. To me, it's more less of us than it is of everyone else. Because like, what is the primary definition of the people of color? Which means they put you all in one boiling pot. But let me ask you a question. Do we get to compete? Do we get to be competitive? How many Black-owned businesses are there in Philadelphia? How many Black-owned businesses are there in Detroit? How many Black-owned businesses are there in Florida, in Virginia, in New York, in Brownsville, in San Pay or whatever else? How many Black-owned businesses in Texas, in the state of Nevada, where you see Black-owned businesses thriving? How many Chinatowns have you seen in the last years of your life living? How many Chinatowns? How many Koreatowns? How many hockey towns? How many court towns do you see? You see a hell of a lot, don't you? No, you don't see a lot. And that should tell you something. And that should tell you something. When you go to your local grocery store, you don't see a whole bunch of you. The only time you see a whole bunch of you is when they're buying other people's products.
A lot of voters
Very
are
obvious.
they get all of their information from here. And I'm a perfect example to me of that is Chanel just said Donald Trump's a racist. Now, cool. I know a lot of people.
That's my
that,
opinion.
Right?
That's
but
my opinion, and that's what
hold
he's
on.
shown.
Let me. I know. Let me finish.
So don't tell me I got that from the media, because I ain't never said nothing about anything.
Let me finish my sentence.
All right,
please.
then clean it up then, because make it right.
If I ask you right now to quote word for word the exact sentences that he said that you consider racist, I know for a fact that you can't do it. You want to know why?
And what is your point for asking that? What is your point for asking that? Are you saying I'm making assumptions? Are you saying I'm making assumptions? Because that's showing your intelligence right now. Don't insult my intelligence. Because if you can't sit here and see that, you should be able to say one word for word. Why I gotta tell you? If you don't, then you ain't paying attention. You ain't woke.
Let me finish my sentence. Like I was saying.
Baby Huey.
Like I was saying, just based off what you.
And this is where I'm just gonna say it. She would have been off. Cut it. Take a time out, because you're trying to get to the base of the root of the problem. Clout's opinion may not be as how do I say this? Clout has his own opinion, and his opinion may not be plant-based, but it's something to listen to. And if you disagree with that, go with something with a little bit, something that's an actual fact. Counter his counter is what I'm saying. Go, if you don't think that his opinion about Donald Trump is supposed to raise the ceiling, then counter his counter. I'm not going for this, neck rolling, all this other, snapping of the. No, you off. Oh, we trying to get to a solution here. It's way too late in the day, and I'm starting to think that don't get just. This is not about anyone in particular. And you know how much I love my women. You know how I love and respect and cherish my. Hey, I have a Black woman. I'm married to one, okay? But sometimes she gets on my damn nerves. Some of you women are starting to get on my freaking nerves. I'm gonna tell you right here now. Some of you women are starting to get on my motherfucking nerves, and I'm censoring myself. Some of y'all women don't need to be up on panels. That's how much I feel right now, because it's too late. It's too late for all that. If I wanted to listen to all this shaking, I could go to fucking another stream for that. I can listen to teenagers talk like this. We're 40 were 40-year-olds. You know what they used to say? They used to say that the what did they used to say? They used to say that the 20, the 40 is the new 20. They used to say that the 30 is the teen is the 30 now, because people are having younger babies, you know, at age 15 and shit like that, which I possibly would kill my kid if she would had a baby. We ain't gonna even go there. But I think me and her mother definitely have our kids in alignment. We want to have them in alignment. For by the grace of God, we got them where they need to be. But this right here, I can't deal with. I can't. I really can't. And even Clout got out of line, and I'm like, y'all need to take a timeout. Y'all really need to take a timeout. You're missing the whole entire point. You're literally missing it. It's like counter his counter. If you don't think, like I said, if you don't think Donald Trump is good for the country right now, if you don't think Kamala Harris is good for the country right now, say that, say your truths, and present your evidence, and let somebody else present their shit.
You said, based off what you said, right? I know that if I asked you to provide evidence to corroborate your beliefs, I know that you would tell me that it's like you just said, that it's your opinion, it's how you feel. But I know for a fact that you wouldn't be able to, because every example in the media that has been presented as a quote unquote proof of his racism was taken out of context. If I know for a fact that I could read words to you that were read, that were said by Donald Trump.
I've been knowing Donald Trump was racist since I was watching him on TV.
And if I didn't
when he fired people, way before that, when he kicked those black people out those apartments to build Mar-a-Lago. Okay, this is way before he was ever to be a camp.
Stop. You're talking about firing people on a show where a black woman won. You're talking about the first person. You're talking about the first.
I'm not talking about a show. I was telling you when I realized that's how long ago it was.
For both black and Jewish people.
Well, to her point, she's talking about a time where Donald Trump has had issues at a certain hotel of his. A certain hotel of his. I think it was in New York or somewhere around there, where he had fired a whole bunch of Mexicans. That's what she was basically talking about. This was years ago. They're talking about something totally different, but I digress.
How long ago it was?
Hold on, Chanel. Listen.
Getting 8 ads every 20 minutes.
Yeah, you're starting to bug me with all these ads.
The majority of the examples that are most popularized as proofs of Donald Trump's racism are almost 99% taken out of context or cut from the original statement. And if you get the whole statement in full context, you'll see what was claimed to be said was never said. Then if we're going to just talk about the history and the records, Mar-a-Lago was the first club to the first country club to open in that area that was open to both black and Jewish patrons. This was at a time where that area would not allow black and Jewish patrons into the area. You got countless business owners who in the 90s could not get funding for their businesses, and they went to the Trump administration to get loans. Not only were they given loans with extremely favorable terms, but then when they went to pay their loans, the money was the checks were ripped up, and Donald Trump didn't take the money. You're talking about a person who Oprah even said would have made a great president, and who said long before he was running for president that if he ever ran for president, he would use Oprah as his vice president. If that's a racist person, then that's literally the worst possible racist ever. When Jesse Jackson was running for president, Donald Trump funded his campaign. Like a lot of the stuff that y'all are saying, it's literally
Well, first and foremost, I would like to say that Donald Trump, he is a racist. All white people are racist. It's a concept. It's a group concept. I never said that he was prejudiced. He might be prejudiced towards poor individuals, but he is not prejudiced towards rich individuals. Like, look who he gave money to. He's given money to Snoop. He's given money to Kanye West. just to name a few. Just to name a few. I mean, he's bailed black people out. He's basically bailed black people out of prison. Rich black people, not poor black people. Like I said, he's prejudiced towards poor people, right? Because he believes that, I was rich and my daddy gave me this and my daddy gave me that. Fine. His dad, however, is a racist, but we'll leave that to the side. He's what's called a capitalist. He likes money. He believes in money. He believes in getting rich. He believes in not from rich quick schemes to getting it where you fit in, right? The same thing with Stephen A. Smith. He's a capitalist as well.
Really just not corroboratable with fact. It just doesn't live in fact.
So
even people, they often bring up another example. Please don't interrupt me. Please don't interrupt me.
Let me
Please don't
know
interrupt
about that.
Chanel,
Let me
don't
know
interrupt
about
me. I
that.
have 52
Chanel,
seconds. I have time left. Another example people use is they talk about this. Oh, well, what about that letter he wrote for the Central Park Five? Have any of y'all ever actually read it? Because if any of y'all actually read it, you would know that he doesn't mention the race of anybody in the entire article. He doesn't even mention the Central Park Five in the article. The only time he mentions race in the article is he says it's a shame that Black, white, Hispanic, and Asian families can't walk through the park safely. So what I'm saying is half of y'all are running through believing something that you've never actually read yourself, because I know for a fact if you had corroborated it, you wouldn't believe it. It's not true. And there's evidence there to prove it. Then
we would definitely argue about that, but my whole point, my whole premise of saying what I said, at some point in time, we're going to have to come to some type of is it not resurrection? We'll call it that for now. We had to come to some conclusion about all this, because right now they're using everyone who is African American, American African, whatever you want to call it, to their destruction. Everyone who has, African related skin, lingo, everything. They're using it to their discretion because they do not like you. They do not respect you, especially Black men. Why do you think there's such manipulators of black women? Why do you think that? They much rather serve, but just like decades ago, when they were raping your African women, right? In the barnyard, in the tool shed, right? Have you ever asked yourself the reason why you had these nieces and nephews that were a light shader color than you, and you had an aunt who was white? Have you ever thought of that? Some of you have, some of you haven't. But my question is, why are we so damn separated? From relationships to politics, and I know this is not going to get too much attention, but it is what it is. I still need my question answered. Why is it that we're just so damn separated from each other? This is 2024. I'm thinking, right, that we would be striving and thriving, that certain businesses, not all, businesses would be, well, let's not start on businesses. Let's start on marriages, right? Businesses would be, I'm sorry, marriages would be just that. That a black man would, you know, choose through, you know, through various places that he goes to, you know, clubs, libraries, bookstores, grocery stores, wherever he finds his woman, online, even maybe wherever we find his woman. Now, I mean, I believe that, and then I don't believe that, writer, because most of these cats are educated. Most of these cats are educated. I don't buy that notion, because and even if I did, they weren't thinking thoroughly. They were even thinking thoroughly about it. It might be just because they just need a piece of pussy. I think that would be it. I don't know. I mean, we are men by nature. We like what we like. Well, I guess we like what we like, but we know in reality we can't get it. So we get the next best thing, but it all becomes internally after that, because what you might present to me is the pretty one that's just is prettier than you, may just present something a little bit darker, or not, well, let's just say not better. Not better. You, how on the other hand, may present something to me that it's like, it's a feel. I feel good at this moment, right? It just feels just right. And next thing you know, we're married to each other, because not only do you, do you give the best sex, but you have more knowledge than possibly maybe this person with that thinks she's a 10 may not have. I mean, some of us are so stubborn. Some of us are just so damn stubborn. And it's like, pick the nigga. This is the reason why we have conversations with women, and start picking their brains the right way, logically, and see where you can run with it, right? Pick their brains the right way, and stop looking at their titties. I mean, I'm 44 years old. I'm done with. Listen. I looked at all asses, titties. I looked at all that stuff when I was young. I'm 44. It's like, okay, okay, you know, it don't bother me anymore. When you're at a certain age, you should just say, that's all I say. Lord have mercy. I'll go about my business. When you're young, it's understandable. It's in nature. You're hound dogs. I get it. But once you start getting your own things, are productive, you have your own car, you have your own house, you have your own or apartment, or whatever, you have your own things. You have a manufacturing company. You're making six figures, right? you're independent is my point. Then I think it would be apropos to fill up that house or that apartment with somebody who is just as independent as you. She's got her own thing. She got a car, she got cars, she got clothes, she's got everything. Niggas talking about, oh, she won't share with me. How do you know? How do you know she won't cook and clean for you? Stupid. How do you know she won't wash your clothes or clean up your house once you establish yourselves relationship wise? That's stupid. Most Negroes don't even want to put in the work. A relationship, it involves work. When you get married, let's not talk about marriage. Let's not talk about marriage because marriage is a whole different beast. We're already witnessing that right now with two individuals already on the verge of divorce after 2 months, 2 or 3 months, 3 months at best. We're already witnessing that right now because they haven't established anything yet. Online, if I meet somebody online, of course, communication is going to be there, but at some point, I want to see you. And when I finally do see you, and because I already know what you look like, I already know what you look like, I already know what you're doing, I already know where you've been. So the next step is continuously growing that relationship physically. You know, we going out. We going to concerts. We doing this. We doing that. We kissing and we hugging each other. We ain't making babies. Not making babies. Not yet. I mean, hell, in nature, I may want some. It happens. It just happens. Let it go. Let it flow and see where it goes. If it goes somewhere, then you, as a male, let's start with the females because most people say, I'm biased. I'm biased. I'm a panderer. I'm this, I'm that. Let me go to the women. Fine. You got my attention. Women don't expect shit after sex. At that point in time, if it damn, I lost my train of thought. Okay, here we go. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. As long as there's protection involved. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If he stays, that means you got him. You got him. You got his attention. And he will do things for you. He's going to continue talking to you on the phone. He's going to give you flowers. He's going to give you gifts. He's going to treat you places like a man should. He's going to open those doors as long as you are loyal to him and to him only. And then the next thing you know, here comes that ring. Fellas, it's the same shit. If she's meant to be, then she's meant to be. Even if she doesn't give you the quote unquote box. If it's meant for you two to be with each other, then cool. Someone said, and I ain't gonna mention no names, but someone said you'll know within the first 2 weeks of you in the first 2 weeks. So she's supposed to give you some for in the next 2 weeks. If she don't give you any in the next 2 weeks, you gone. Okay. Good luck with that. When do you expect to have sex with this woman? I say if it happens, it happens. I say 6 months. That's what I say. If it established within the 6 months, because not a whole bunch of women do it, but some women say they have a 3-month rule. Right? I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah, y'all got the 3-month rule. If it is whatever. If you do have a 3-month rule or whatever, that's cool. But me and my wife, we didn't wait 3 months. As a matter of fact, I think it was 2. I think it was 2.5 months. I'm not sure. It's been so long. But if it's meant for you, it's meant for you. But we still, and you should establish more of an rapport of, I think and I believe, and it's just my opinion. I think and believe that a woman can definitely upgrade a man when it comes to intelligence. I think when you start to have that individual conversation with each other and you talk more in politics, especially when it comes down to this Project 2025 stuff, and you start to develop in a rapport with one another, start to develop, more of a rapport with one another, start to develop a habit of being intellectuals, a habit of, being more logical with each other. You start to strengthen each other's arguments. And when you come up here, he has a lane, all thanks to you both of you's point of views. And of course, she has a degree in communications. Not so much you. You might have a degree in I don't know. But she definitely has a degree in communications. Hey, Bridge, she definitely has a degree in journalism. That's women's biggest things, communication and journalism. Well, I mean, hell, what do you mostly see on the news? You see women journalists, right? You see women communicators always, right? So I'm there online, right? Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you have not done so, be a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. But you know what I was on a panel last night with some cool individuals, right? Oh boy. And I mean, I like these people. I really do. They are growing their channel slowly but surely. But when it comes to politics, boy, politics are some people, not so people's strong suit. And I'm gonna give you a prime example. I mean, it's just my opinion. Let me see. Like that, and no person.
Like,
So
men just out here
stop
leaving
these-
women?
What stopped these men from marrying these women and building together? Because women who got assistance. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Women who got assistance were single mothers. Had that man proposed, he wouldn't be out the door.
But how
That's
can you?
true.
But
So
see,
having
how
taken
can
away
you?
the program stop
But
men from proposing to that woman,
all right,
building a family, and getting this one pregnant over here, and this one pregnant over here, and this one pregnant over here.
listen, getting
Taking
married.
away
Listen,
Job Corps.
Shut a good point.
Make you get
listen,
everybody pregnant
listen.
over here and not marrying
Getting
them.
married. Listen, getting married. Let's be
Yeah, Carter Core, she all emotional and shit. I don't want to say that she hates women or she hates men, but that's like, I don't know. I'll give it 50-50.
real.
You build a
Get
foundation.
no, 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 no.
And you
Get, no,
build
no, 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 no. Getting married is not taught in the black household because what comes before that is survival.
That makes no
You
sense.
said it's not taught
Yes,
in the black
yes.
household?
Survival.
No sense,
Listen, in the black household, survival is first. Survival is first. Everything that you've learned from your family is survival. You learn how to make with the best you have. If you ask black people,
It's I don't know what that was about, but you're when it comes to black families, it's about development. It's not about survival. If it was about that, then we would be marrying you, and then we'll be going out to the corner store and getting some products like rations and shit like that.
right now, what is the survival foods in your house? What they gonna tell you? Bread, rice. They're gonna tell you survival things. But if you ask them how to live, they won't be able to comprehend that. Because living and surviving is two different things. But we have been conditioned to believe that us living is living, but it's actually surviving. You're just
Surviving.
I'm
surviving.
confused. I'm gonna
Is
tell you
easier
why
than
I'm
one.
confused.
Yeah.
I'm confused because if it would make more sense to get married and survive together than
No,
be
but
apart and have to survive by
On two
myself.
incomes,
So is that an excuse why
but
men
no,
wouldn't
but that's
marry
not.
back then?
But listen. In the black household, survival is first. Marriage doesn't come first. Survival is first.
But that makes no sense, because if the man can't stay in the house, right? He would have to stay in the house if they were married.
All right, all right.
Oh, I know what he's saying, but still, most cats find a way to get the paper without doing XYZ. But if they do it, they ain't got no other choice. Then I guess it is what it is. But for the most part, niggas know how to get jobs. They do. But nowadays, I mean, it's a little bit different. But then again, it's not, because if you're going to McDonald's or you're going to Burger King, they are paying, $16, $17, $18 an hour. You need to be working at that job. Fuck all that pride shit. Or I don't want to work at Burger King. Bullshit. Then you a lazy person. You are a lazy individual, because if they are paying that wage, and I am a witness to that. I went by and they said it said on site that McDonald's is paying $18 an hour just for being a crew member. It's like 19 if you're a manager or something like that. I'm a witness to that. If you're so afraid to work at Burger King, I mean, over here in the state of Nevada, you got to get a food card, right? Once you get that food card, then sign an application. It's off to the races. If they hire you, if they like you, they'll hire you in. You're getting that money. That's the point. That is the whole point. So I understand what he's saying when it comes to survival and shit, but that's whatever.
Because they got the same last name. You
All right,
can't
so
throw them out.
all right, listen,
So that's
Evo.
what she's saying. If they
If
got
you
married, they wouldn't be thrown out. So
You would be surviving together.
Listen, if you ladies if you ask the ladies that is your age right now,
because the ladies are talking about has everything to do economically. If you're getting married, you're basically two incomes in one household. That's almost generational wealth right there. Almost generational wealth. Because if you're established, or if you're already established as a person, if you already have a job working in corporate and he has a job working at, his own security firm, that's basically generational wealth right there because of the money that you're going to be making in one household.
Most of them, if you ask them, were their mothers married? Most of them would say no, right? But on the
That's
flip
what
side,
we're talking about, though. Why not? Why not
listen
just
to what I'm
marry the
saying.
women and
But
take
listen,
care of kids?
no, but listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. If you ask them,
remember my basic question. Remember what my basic question is. Why are we so separated? Why? Why are we so separated?
where they married, they would say no. All right, cool. But if you ask them how to survive, they have all the answers.
Because they weren't married, they had to survive.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
need y'all to
But
understand this, and I
you
think
just
I
proved my
understand what
point.
he's saying. I
You
know
just
what you're
proved my
saying.
point.
When these single women, that's survival mode.
All
You
right.
get what I'm saying? That they have no choice. But if the men,
That's what.
like y'all keep
slipping, sliding, sneaking, behind the scenes, scheming, scamming, conniving. What you guys are seeing as like one party has abandoned us and not done for us for years, the other party has been behind the scenes doing the worst things you could possibly imagine to our people. But up to the time that Donald Trump got elected president, the first time, they haven't been able to execute many of their plans because they were held back from executing those plans by like not having a person as bold as Donald Trump in the White House to attempt to do it. The last time he was in the White House was a practice run for him to do many things that he will do when he gets in there next time, now that he knows what he is capable of getting away with. And that's the thing that we have to be worried about right now, is that he exercised certain powers of the presidency that have never been exercised before. When he was writing out all those executive orders, Obama would have never been able to do nothing like that. He'd have never been able to come in there and just sign laws with no Congress approval or nothing like that. And that's why when we're saying certain people have failed us, it's that certain people were permitted to break the rules in a way that was unprecedented. And when that person broke those rules, he didn't break not near one of those rules for black people. So I really understand what we're talking about with wanting to vote for this man. He did not do anything for his own people when he was in there. You know who he helped, though? He made sure that he relaxed all of these regulations on companies and how much they had to pay to protect the environment, how much they had to pay to make sure our food was safe. He relaxed all of that. And you know who that helped? Him and all of his investments in companies that didn't want to pay to clean up pollution and all kinds of things that they're making, because they make more money when they don't have to spend it, making sure that the products are safe. So like our communities.
You talk about the food. When people get bold enough, and there are a lot of people who do this. When you get bold enough to wanting to grow your own food in your own backyard, then you won't have to worry about people polluting the food with all this GMO stuff. Is that mainly what that is, or ANR, or whatever, or whatever? Uh, who is the who's the computer genius boy? Oh, Bill Gates. What Bill Gates got cooking up, what he's been cooking up, and this is the reason why he owns 18% of the farmlands right now, is like, what if we just start growing our own food? Have we ever thought of that? Have we ever thought that maybe, just maybe, it would be apropos to develop like a greenhouse to grow our own food in, so it will grow right. Does that make any sense to anybody?
Are the ones that are eating that save a lot food that has no restrictions on it now. Our communities are the ones that have those toxic waste dumps and stuff where his people and his friends are dumping all of their shit. You know, our communities are the ones that's in. So when we want to talk about who has actually been,
And mind you, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Kamala supporter. So I have no skin in the game. However, certain people who are not politicians, I don't listen to. We all have our own opinions of what's going on and what we read, and that's fine. We're supposed to be sitting there and talking about these things. That's all perfectly okay. But to sit there and shame a person to was like, why are you voting for this person? And do you know this is your lineage and all this other shit? I was like, first of all, I don't have to do anything but vote as an independent. And let me not get started on the independent shit.
helping our community, let's talk about who's been hurting our community.
Yes.
You know, they're trying to remove diversity, equity, and inclusion from the workplace. Meaning black people who had problems in the workplace that were able to have meetings with white staff about their feelings and stuff, that will now be illegal to do in the workplace under Trump.
It's already illegal. This is already illegal. But this is the reason why we have unions. He can't just up and shut down. He can't just up and shut down the union for any reason. It's too much. We're backed and supported by the courts. So you can't just up and just take away unions like that. No, it doesn't work that way. He would basically have to fight the courts, and his punk ass can't fight no court like that. He's not intelligent enough.
The amount of students who will now not go to college because diversity, equity, and inclusion and affirmative action programs were eliminated under who? Donald Trump. So the program I went to college on, associate's degree, bachelor's degree, master's degree, I'd have never gone and gotten my education had there been a Donald Trump in office who eliminated the programs that I went to school on as a poor black girl living in the inner city. What else? I'm saying, like there's tons of stuff. He's actually part of his plan for back in office is to give the police full immunity.
Yes, I was coming to that. Yes.
To give the police full immunity. Now we already know what's happening with our men in the police right now. They don't even have immunity. They have what looks like immunity because they don't necessarily get punished for their crimes. But imagine it being on the books that they can't be punished for it.
Yeah.
That is the worst possible scenario. I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm on Instagram, so that is the worst possible scenario that we could have. Law enforcement system that does not require there to be any kind of trial for officers that engage in anything underneath their badge. Like these are serious things. And then I'm looking at our men considering voting against their own interests right now.
Thank you. Yes.
Her own interests? What? And I wanted to ask, and I should have asked in full. What is our best interest? It ain't her. It ain't Kamala. I would rather it be Hillary Clinton. I would rather it be that, but it damn sure ain't Kamala Harris. I would rather it be Barack Obama's wife, Michelle. But she doesn't want to run, or at least she tried to.
How? Like, And that's what I was saying earlier. Like, what? I was a little upset about that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm not on Trump's side, but what's the difference between the sneakers and you hearing something from Cardi?
America, essentially, because Trump came in on Obama's good economy. And a lot of suckers want to believe that Trump did something for us. And if Trump was so good, he would have not been a one-term president. We would not have elected this half-dead guy rather than Trump. That's it. Why didn't he win again? If we weren't so divided.
I can tell you that. And sorry if I wasn't even paying attention. The reason why they didn't appoint him on his second term because of all the tea that he spilled. That's simple enough. He was a whistleblower. He blew the whistle on so many things that the government tried to do. He blew the whistle on the government. That's what he did. He blew the whistle on the chairman. That's what he did. That's simple enough. Why do you think on January 6th, on January 6th, 2023, this man blew the freaking whistle and told everybody to march to the Capitol. They stormed through that Capitol, and check this out. Have you noticed that when they stormed to the Capitol, where was the police? The police was nowhere near that area. They was just standing back. They waited for everybody to kick their feet up, right? Because I guess they didn't want to cause a scene. Go ahead and look back at the tapes. Go ahead and look back at it and see where they were between the police and the protesters. They went in there and they stormed and they destroyed down there everything and taking pictures and shit. Like, we here, what's up? And everybody blaming it on him.
Dudes who don't identify as Pookies and Ray Rays, like Obama said, would not be angry because you would not identify as that Pookie and Ray Ray and that woman hater. You would not have nothing.
What in the fuck does that have to do with anything? What's up with this Pookie and Ray Ray shit? Pookie and Ray Ray work odd jobs just like you and I do. You just call them Pookies and Ray Rays because they talk no nonsensical. Right? They don't have as much knowledge as the average cat, but they do know some things. It's just working a 9 to 5 like everybody else. And woman, whoever said that we didn't want to vote for Kamala specifically because she's a woman. No one said that.
There'll be nothing that Obama said in that speech affect you if you was an upstanding black man doing what he was supposed to do.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Can't no one get me out of my energy. Why did Obama get you out of yours? Because you identify as who he talking about. Let's fix ourselves rather than get mad at the truth.
Your truths, not the truth.
Oh, I'm just waiting for you to play the video, Mama. I'm just keeping filling in the... We can't hear you, baby. You're muted.
Oh, my bad.
As well. Yesterday, I spoke to a group of black men at Kenny's Barbershop in West Philadelphia.
Okay, pay attention. This is the clip and this was a great read, right? But nobody was specifically paying attention to this particular clip that she showed. And I'm glad that she showed this clip because I showed a clip not too long ago. I think it was yesterday. I showed a similar clip that black men, when she was that when the question was asked by these reporters, because that's all she is, a reporter, when the specific question was asked, paraphrasing, why is it specific? What did you have against what Barack Husseini Obama had to say to certain Black individuals? And this is what transpired.
About the issue that might decide this election, gender.
I literally, you guys.
Come on now.
That usually
don't happen.
Why didn't she go speak to a group of white men?
On the campaign trail, he was at a stop. I think it's right, and he said, "I think there's some others out there who are on the fence, and they're saying it's because of this or that." But I think I'm paraphrasing here, but it's because they have a problem electing a woman as president, and they're excuses basically that issue. And Black women have gotten our backs for so long; they've raised us up. You know, they've helped us out, and it's time for you to show up for Kamala. And I just wonder for anybody who heard that, like what they thought of that.
Deeply offended. I was deeply offended, and it felt like a moment where it's like, you N-words better get in line and do what we say. And it felt like him as the czar of the Democratic Party coming down to say, go get these N-words in line. And the general tone of it was disgusting. It was abhorrent. I don't respect it. I didn't like nothing about it. And Kamala, 2 days after that, is like, we love our Black men. We have programs and things that we rolled out. And she rolled out policy.
Good cop, bad cop. You know, because
I'm tired of the good cop, bad cops. I'm tired of it.
Black men have to be there for Black women the same way that Black women have always been there for us as single parents, all that and more. And what he was trying to say is like, by not voting for Kamala Harris over basically somebody as a clown, it's almost like as a general disrespect.
But she's not the only person on the ballot.
Women are discriminated against. As people who, every day, all day long, we're having conversations across the city in all these states. I was having conversations last Thursday, and there was a young man just turned 18. We got him registered to vote. He went and voted after the conversation, but he led his conversation with, I can't vote for Kamala because women are emotional. And young men. So we all here as grown men.
Opinion of one.
It's not one. You're missing the point. You're missing the point.
Women are discriminated against. I've managed athletes. They're treated like objects. Women are paid less. You can't act like not treated unfair. Hold on, wait. Let me finish. We can't act like there's not some truth in what he is saying.
I mean, Michelle Obama gave Barack a lot of credibility. Because if he'd have marched a white woman across the stage, he'd still be in Chicago.
Right.
So it's a lot. Barack had characteristics that gave him out. It's easier. She's married to a white man. Yep. She's mixed. Yep. She's got a dicey history. They got pictures of her glamorous. She looks good. And you know what they say? You know, they give her the dumb blonde energy. It's much easier. It's much easier to get your jokes off. And everybody cracking up thinking it's funny, laugh. It's easier to get your jokes off. It just is. And it's unfortunate that like we grew up in a culture where those are sort of things that we talked about.
Well, Trump is eating into the Democrats' lead with Black voters.
Okay,
and then I spoke to.
Now, check this out, right? Check this out. This is similar to the thing that let me see if this is it. I think this is it. This is the thing that was similar to what I was speaking about the other day. As soon as we get these stupid ass commercials, and I'm getting sick of these stupid ass ads. Stupid ass ads that I'm not even getting paid for. Anyway, here we go.
Kamala has a man problem, and it's not just Doug knock him out. Imhoff, no, he's not the only one causing her headaches, but the fact that so many American men, including Black on white, Kamala.
We have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced brothers.
He then went on to lecture them about why they must pick Kamala and why any reluctance must be due to what sexist, misogynist monsters they are.
You just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down?
No, it's because of the simple fact that you ain't done shit in your last 2 terms as a United States president. The fuck on with that.
That's not acceptable.
Now, that little rant inspired some feedback from members of the black community, male and female.
I want Barack Obama and every Democrat out there to know, you do not own black people. We are not slaves. Our chains are gone. We do not owe you anything, and we don't have to give you an account for how we choose to vote.
The Democrats then unleashed Barack Obama into the wild to shame us black men for not supporting Kamala Harris, despite the fact that she's yet to unveil any policies that represent our interests. But if it was a white politician shaming other...
I would definitely love to. I am low on funds right now, but if you would put your go to put your name, or if you have a website that people can go to, you can definitely put it in the chat room, and people go ahead and follow that website. Definitely.
White man for not voting based on identity politics, y'all will call him racist. Why is it okay for Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, and all these other people that supposedly look like me? Why is it okay for them to get on TV and shame me for not voting for them simply because they look like me? That is racist, brother. I don't know how else to put it. That is racism. I don't have to vote for Kamala because she's quote unquote black. Just like I shouldn't have voted for yo because you got up there, you tap dance for the establishment, and you ain't do a goddamn for the black people in office. You brother.
You ain't did a thing for us in the 8 years that you was in the White House. And you think you gonna pop up during an election year and try to scold black men for not wanting to vote for your candidate? Have you lost mind?
I spent 7 years of my life fighting your administration, you and Biden, by the way, for my husband's military benefits. My daughter died because of Obamacare. I don't give a about you.
This message is for President Obama. First and foremost, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. Number one, I ain't going to vote for Kamala Harris. I think that she's going to make a bad president. She's a bad vice president. Everything she does, she tries to politicize it, and she hasn't shown the fact that she wants to put America first ever. So I'm not voting for that individual.
What you thought you was doing, Barack Obama? Boy, you didn't step out there. All you did was black men off, bro. All you did was black men off. Why y'all think the American people why y'all think the Democrat Party own black folk? The Democrat Party don't own black folks, bruh. What you thought you was doing with that? We see the play. We know, we see the play. Kamala Harris is losing. She's not gonna win.
The audacity of you to say to us that we are required and we better vote for Kamala Harris and that we don't want to see a woman in power. You're a liar.
That's just a sample, folks.
Now, you can be found in Facebook and Messenger. Okay, we'll do. So you like, this was similar, right? But this one's a little bit stronger. Now let's go back to the town hall meeting.
That's one part of it. You know what I'm saying? What y'all think about some of the stuff that they were saying?
That was a good conversation.
I
Yeah,
want to
'cause
say
it's
this.
a long video,
I
but
want to.
yeah.
I want to say this as a black man, and you know what? Maybe just looking at this video, or maybe because I'm a little lit, it just really hits me. Where if y'all women don't know, it's hard for a black man now.
Oh my God, oh Jesus.
Listen, time out, time out, time out, time out. Because it seems like the things that's in his control are almost not in his control. And the things that's out of his control is being labeled as his control. Society and the narrative that they want to push that there's really black men out here who really care, son. We really care. We really fighting out here and we really doing what we got to do. But it's always the narrative on what about the black man? The black man just can't get it together, or the black man can't do this, or the black man can't do that. Y'all don't see that, yo, and y'all don't understand how black men have to wake up every morning and ignore that, son. We gotta ignore that and push through things mentally, son. Think about it. The whole fate of the world is almost seems like it's put on a black man's back because it's like, yo, policies won't change unless you get a black man together, and this black man's still trying to figure out how to get their house together. Media, how everything is just.
Obama did what OGs do.
Mm, speak
When an
your
OG,
speak.
how come nobody looked at it that way? You want to know why nobody looked at it that way? Because they were inside their own feelings of inferiority by the man who was saying it to them. Because if that had been anybody else who would have said that to them that they felt was their peer or was like them, it wouldn't have been perceived that way.
Yes.
Obama was.
Even our peers, we look at with a third eye and say, what is it that you want from us, nigga? That's when we use some of them. Not all. Not all. Because you have to think in a 93-year deficit, 93 years of us voting Democrat. I ask you, where has it gotten? And I don't want to hear about some black, there are a specific black folks will put it in this position, in that position, in this position, in that position. We're not sitting at the dinner table. We're not sitting at the dinner table of these people. We're not sitting at the dinner table of the elites who basically are in control of the entire world. Not the entire world being the United States, period, but you know what I mean. If they can pull the freaking trigger, you think we'll be alive at this point? Is this Dr. Umar? What are you talking about? Is this Dr. Umar? No, this is not Dr. Umar. But do you think if they were to pull the trigger on this on black people that all the jobs would be taken away? All the jobs would be taken away. All the jobs, because you know why you're getting erased from existence. For those people who keep coming into the country, immigrants that keep coming into the country, and they get the specific jobs that black people don't want, supposedly, allegedly, because they are low-paying wage jobs. They're not gonna. They see through it that they owe us through our years and years of experience. But you know it's not going to get cheap. So what happens to a people when you owe a people that much who have been here for years and years and years? What do? You debt them and you go get somebody who will work for cheap. That's the lingo. That's the goal. America is in debt. America owes too much money. And we were to talk, and if they were to give up money for reparations, that's possibly, I don't know, 6,000, I don't know, $1 million. That's like $1 million or two each per capita per family. You would end up bankrupting America. America's already bankrupt. Give us. I don't even want money. I want land. Give me land. Give me a little bit of money. Give me some space. I don't want the money necessarily. Give me enough money just to function. Give me enough money to put my family in a good situation. But they don't see that. All these specific handouts that they're giving. And watch how I cook.
Was the OG saying to his own people, it's trying to get our attention. That should be a sign to us.
What has he done systematically for black
One of the
people?
men
That's
said
my
because she
question.
got
What has he done?
Hold on.
Hold on,
What
y'all missed
Trump
it.
done?
One of the men
hold up,
said
hold up,
it was because she got a white man. Did y'all hear him?
Yeah,
Did y'all miss
we
that?
heard that.
That's what one of y'all said. One of the dudes in the place said,
What do
Barack
you think got to do with her husband not running? She is.
Who said that?
One of the brothers said Barack brought Michelle. If that had been a white woman, we wouldn't have voted for him. Y'all weren't paying attention.
Who
That
said
was
that?
said.
Who said that?
I've heard men say something about that.
He said that just now. The brother in the suit said that. Very
In the video.
eloquently.
On the video,
She got a
y'all.
white man. But when she was with the brother,
So
when
listen,
she was
the
with the
truth,
black
the
men,
truth is this. The
hold on.
truth
When
is
she
this.
was with we up, you went for 20 minutes. When she was
go.
with the black men, they called her a hoe. Do y'all remember that?
Well,
No.
they said
When
something
she was
about
with
that
over
too.
here, they said she slept her way to the
She's
top when she was with the brothers.
Who said that?
Fox News. She went on Fox to talk
That's
to the black
Fox
men.
News. Are
She
you
didn't
kidding
go
me?
on Fox News. When
Yo,
she
that's
went on
Fox
Fox
News.
News,
Are you kidding me?
it was to talk to the black man.
Oh my
because
God.
that's what the black men are watching. And she said, we love and care about you. And Brett was disrespectful, rude, didn't let her speak, talked to her crazy. And none of the brothers said, why is that white man talking to our vice president crazy as fuck? I didn't hear that anywhere. And that white man went out of his way to disrespect that system. None of y'all was outraged. None of y'all even cared.
I'm saying, why do we not got her the way we go out to our black movies? We back anybody and anything that's
Well,
us.
somebody up here said they disagree, and I wanted to hear what he disagreed on.
Who said? Somebody said they disagree.
Oh, I did. Now, I automatically said that this show, the topic was basically a woman topic. So I caught that automatic when he did disrespect. Well, damn, you caught me on guard with that. Okay. So I mean, you caught me off guard with that. Who are you particularly talking about, Bridge? Who are you particularly talking about? But watch how I cook. I did.
Oh, okay. What you disagree with?
I did. I asked a question behind it. I said, what has Barack Obama done systematically for black people in this country? I'll wait.
Great.
I got 51 things.
Wait,
I got 51 things. Let's talk about it. I love when they ask that question.
Hold on. I think
okay.
Her name is China. I think she came up here and she very explained it all. Like, you really thought they were going to give that black man that much power? You really thought that?
He did a lot for us.
I'm sorry, that's just a piss poor excuse. What has he done systematically for black America?
Okay. So you want an answer then?
I'm about to, yeah.
Because I can give you an answer.
I'm waiting for the answer.
Would you like to know what the answer to that question is? There's actually 16 things that Barack Obama did that were systematic
I'm
just
waiting.
for our people.
I am waiting.
Now, one thing I will say about the Democratic Party, they don't do a good job at educating us on their successes. That's been the key issue. But it's not that the success.
They haven't produced anything in 93 years. What work behind it? I think we have been systematically fucked by the Democratic Party for that long. And the Republican Party ain't doing no better. So what do you expect?
Successes haven't happened. Okay. First of all, Barack Obama is the only president in United States history to create an actual program that specifically has the word the words black or is geared directly toward black people is called My Brother's Keeper, which exists in all 50 states currently, and are programs that are running as after school programs.
But My Brother's Keeper, in his book, he doesn't claim to be a freaking he doesn't claim to be a black man. He doesn't even claim his damn daddy. His daddy's a freaking kinsman. His mom is white, but his dad is from Kenya. He don't claim his father. What is going on here? But I, as a man with integrity, I just sat there and I listened to these horizontal excuses, these little handouts, right? These little specific handouts that she was specifically calling out. And I just said to myself, this is a woman's not a woman's channel. I mean, it is a woman's channel, but what they're specifically called out, and they had an answer for everything, supposedly. They didn't even name 16, 14, or whatever. I can name 16 things that Barack Obama he hasn't done shit. Where are our grocery stores? Where are our grocery stores? Where are independent contractors for individuals who can get jobs out here for HVAC, for carpentry, for electricians? You look around, you see nothing but Mexicans and white people doing the electricianal work. That's all you freaking see. Whatever happened to the independent contractors? Whatever happened to wealth in this country? We are still 1.5 we still own 1.5%. It has not moved anywhere. And I gave it grace.
Programs that I've been funded for here in Philadelphia this year. So that money does in fact exist. I used it to do Philly Got Bars, a rap contest where I gave $4,000 this year to the best rapper in Philadelphia, and it was real hood dudes.
Well, what does that have to, again, what does it have to prove? What is it proving? Nothing. I don't want to hear individualism. She's giving me individualism. What do you know what systematically means?
It was real hood dudes in Logan. So to say, okay, so My Brother's Keeper exists in all 50 states. He is the first and only president of the United States to ever create an actual program that has brothers right in the title. Here's my problem. We need policies that say black in front of them in order for us to say that they benefited black people.
Do you know what the term black means?
Exactly.
You know what the term black means? I don't know why I jumped from the free throw line. My mentor and Jeff Brown often told me I jump from the free throw line a lot. So that one was my fault. But I had to.
Trying to talk about the definition of black.
Well, they don't know that either because they keep saying.
There's a reason why you're not.
I'm saying that we're saying that he hasn't done anything, and I'm giving answers.
He wasn't listening. He wasn't listening. Now he's being emotional.
Systematically, what again? Brothers keep.
I wasn't done.
That's like a horizontal thing.
I wasn't done. That was just one.
Grocery stores. I'm talking about grocery stores. Oh my bad.
I can answer that.
Let her speak. Let her finish speaking.
I
can answer about the grocery store.
Obama, you want to talk systematically? I'm going to tell you systematically,
no, you're
and
not.
long-term systematically.
No.
Barack Obama appointed 62 black lifetime judges to seats. Ooh. Lifetime judges. Now, we want to talk systematically. That means that 62 black people are in judges' seats right now.
How many white people versus black people versus Asian people versus, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. Where's that? Oh, here. People need to go read this book. Where's my mother freaking camera? People need to go read this book by Dr. Claude Anderson. This is a black history reader. Let's read from a specific page. And I can pull it up in 2 seconds. Here we go. Black history reader. The United States chart. This is not recent, but I'm reading from what Dr. Claude Anderson was stating right here, and it's not recent, but here's some truth to it, even though it's not updated. But just listen and see if it makes any sense to you. The United States Census chart below, it's a chart below real medium household income by race and Hispanic origins of households through 1976 to 2014 shows how blacks stay fixed in underclass income status. It depicts a racial hiteracy, or whatever that word is, in our society and presence. In reality, that blacks are fixed as a low incoming level. So from that, it says from when it comes to Hispanics, they make over about $74,300 per household. They went. Oh, excuse me, I read that wrong. They went from 64,300 to 74,300. Non-Hispanic whites went from 52,200 to 60,300. Hispanics alone make from $38,900 to a whopping $42,000. Black people make up, when it comes to households in America, make up from $26,800 to $35,400. And this is households alone. I ain't even reading a whole bunch of things. I want you to go read the book. Go get Dr. Claude Anderson's book and read that.
See,
it shows you where we are in this country, even to this very day. Has the goalpost even moved when it comes to wealth? Has the goalpost even moved?
There's a difference between what he was able to do under his pen and what he was unable to do because of the composition of our Congress and the composition of our Supreme Court.
Are we talking about the Supreme Court, by the way?
We're not talking about this. The Supreme Court doesn't have 62 judges. I'm talking about the judges that matter. I'm talking about the ones that are actually sitting in some of the state and local Supreme Courts and stuff. The ones that actually determine whether or not certain people go away and for how long.
Oh, but wait a minute now. The Supreme Court often does make decisions, just like they made the decision for that brother to get executed. Marcellus Williams been in jail for, I think it was a total of 40 some years. They found new evidence. He's been trying to present this evidence 2 times in a row. Even the prosecutor said that he should have just gotten off death row and we should just gave him a deal just to get life in prison without the possibility of parole instead of going on death row. You know what the Supreme Court justice said? We're moving forward. And this is under who? This is under Joe Biden's watch. This is under Joe Biden's watch and Kamala Harris's watch. Give me that nonsense.
He appointed 62 black, not brown, not Hispanic, not Asian, 62 black lifetime, not temporary, not elected, not can leave office. I'm talking about till they die, black judges that were appointed that will now be there for their lifetime, which is the entire reason why the Republicans have gained so much control, is because they were stacking judges while we're sitting over here talking about presidents and vice presidents, which really don't matter, and ignoring Congresses and judges, which matter a lot. We don't realize that move alone was the most powerful systemic move.
We're talking about individualism
For black people that could have ever been made. Lifetime judges that are black forever in that seat cannot be removed unless they die.
Okay, you just gave me
No,
two
I thought
things
there were
that
none.
really particularly don't matter, but go ahead.
So
You said you were going to
black judges don't matter?
16 things.
That don't matter?
You just named 2. That's 14. So go ahead.
That's black jobs right there. That don't matter?
The black jobs. Are they gonna woman, do you know what you I wonder what these women are talking about, Joe. Are they really going to employ a whole bunch of black judges throughout the court? We're talking about, they usually start around 45 to on years time, because of course, let's just say I need to get Judge Joe Brown up here. I need to know when he started, right? Because I'm not particularly on my judge shit. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, they start at the age 44. They start at age 44 on up. That is if you can afford the schooling, if you can afford to go to school, if you can afford, because not all black people can afford to go to school. Not everybody are going to graduate from school. We're talking about getting your graduate's degree, your law degree. You got to get all those things. Not every black person can afford all those things. So what are we talking about here? 64 judges, good for them. Good for them. I'm sure that their rich white parents can be, and most of them have white parents. Come on now. It's like I said before, you had somebody in your family who's related to you, who has given you money prior to you being related to them. Not everybody gets that luxury. Not everybody gets that chance. I've been pursuing HVAC for over a year now, and I still haven't gotten a job. I've been a carpenter for over 2 years, and I've gotten one job that they let me go into because I was a low percenter. And they just could have given me a recommendation and said that was a good worker right there. But since I am a low percenter, and there are certain jobs that they are willing to give to you, but I was working at the stadium. But I'm not harking back at that. I'm just making the statement. It's not everybody gets that opportunity, and that's not even what I was saying. I'm saying where are specific things we can be competitive in. Where are we competitive at? I could care. I don't give a damn about judges. I don't give a damn about them. Half of these people aren't even judges or lawyers. Freaking what lawyer was that? Johnny Cochran. They killed Johnny Cochran for a reason. There could have been thousands of Johnny Cochrans everywhere. But half of those lawyers don't even get their people off. Half of those lawyers that she mentioned don't even get their people off because they ended up going to jail any goddamn way. Horizontal issues. Job. Okay, where are the jobs?
It's not even just black jobs. It's black rulers.
Where are the jobs?
That's not jobs.
Where's black
It's not-
ownership?
They not employees.
It's not
Where's
black jobs.
ownership?
It's black.
There ain't
Wait,
no.
this is
There
crazy.
is no ownership.
You
Where's
asked
ownership?
for you
I
asked
need
for
All right, so
ownership.
I'll give it to
I'm
you.
not
I'll
looking
give
Here's
for
it to
what
you.
happens.
anything
Here's what
else,
happens.
anything other than ownership,
Here's what
wealth,
happens. They say
wealth,
there's nothing, right?
power,
They say
influence.
there's
That's
nothing.
what
Then
I'm
you
looking for.
provide. Look,
Okay, so
they say
I'll
there's
give you
nothing at
some.
all. Look,
I'll
they
give
say
you
there's.
some, right? I
We
just
got to
They
pulled
say
up
move
a
there's
the goal.
poll.
We
nothing
got to
at
move the
all.
goal every time there's an answer that's correct.
Yeah. They say
I
there's
just
nothing at
pulled up
all,
a
and then you
couple.
provide
Okay,
factual
we both got
evidence,
it.
and then they move the goalposts.
And this
But
is
here's
just
the
a
thing.
Okay, all right. Even if I were to give you all that, okay, cool. We're still 1.5% of ownership of wealth in this country. Nothing has changed. Even if I were to give you that. Even so. Even if I were to give you, okay, where there are more black managers in the state of California. There are more black people who may own a whole bunch of barbershops. Who gives a shit? Hey, I'll even give you black mayors, black governors. You see where black mayors have gotten us. Kill Kirkpatrick from Detroit. We see where governors have gotten us. Chicago, Illinois. We see where senators have gotten us, where legislators have gotten us. Black legislators, they're all black. I give you that. Where are 40 acres and a mule and $100? In other words, where's our land? We do everything underneath the sun to develop lands from we've done everything underneath the sun from Tulsa, Oklahoma to Rosewood to many other towns, little mini towns that were black towns. After slavery, we have developed so much after slavery that they had totally burned it down forever, for good. Dr. Claude Anderson has been developing plans for black people for years, and he's still being ignored at age 90. So come up here and give me that crap about judges and this and that and the third, when we still haven't moved the wealth one needle.
Because I'm trying to find my notes, because there's 51 things Obama did that was amazing for us while he was in office, and I'm still looking for it, but I just pulled up some, right? So healthcare
Because for
reform,
some people, it has to have the word black in front of it for them to think that it benefited us.
So you know what that tells me? It tells me that this, either she's a white woman, right? Which I don't think that's the case, and or she's not for specifically black people. If she would have came and said that, I wouldn't have said anything else. But the simple fact that she went on this merry-go-round of a stick and not went towards the ceiling to knock that ceiling down says wonders. But again, this was a great show.
Under whose presidency?
Because
under
Trump went in there.
under whose presidencies was these whites able to get this extra funding?
Under Trump. So Obama signed it into office, and because Trump is the next president, it looks like he got the win.
So before Trump, they wasn't getting that. So before Trump, they wasn't getting that.
Listen, before
we're not. Before Obama getting that.
Obama, it was Bush Academy.
If you look up Barack Obama executive orders, you will see what he did for the black community. but we don't do that because
Okay.
we're busy watching Fox, listening to bullshit.
I want to know if you can dance.
We can do that. We can look up Obama executive orders. Obama executive. We can look up Obama's executive orders. Let's see. Executive order just says. Mind you, he did 2 terms. Also, we're going to look at Wikipedia. And I know I'm definitely off topic, but I think it's something that needs to be. Let's see. I think. Let me see. We can go back up. Okay, executive orders are issued to help the agency. Help the agencies of the executive branch manage the operations within federal government itself. And we often talk about less government. So, presidential Mandarin, Mandara, whatever, are closing. What was it? Is it the executive branch? Is it that terminated? It? That's not it. Where is it? Where is it? I want the executive orders. Here we go. Executive orders. Cumulate order of executive orders signed by Barack Obama. 1. Jesus Christ. I didn't know that this was hard to read. And it tells you right here the exact numbers. Maybe presidential records, ethic communications by executive branch personnel, ensuring law, no, yeah, reviewing and dispositioning of individual detained at the, I don't know what the hell this is. I know he did the governmental shutdown. I do know that. But that don't mean shit. I mean, he put down so many. Wait, okay. One of them, let me see. One of them was establishing a White House Council on the Women and Girls. None of this says anything. None of it says anything. And we looked towards this shit before. And he did, and mind you, he did two terms. So from 2009, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2009 and from 2017. Blocking property of certain persons combining to the conflict of Somalia. I think his biggest thing was deleting not Saddam Hussein, but bin Laden, Osama bin Laden. That was his biggest thing. I'm looking. Maybe I shouldn't go to Wikipedia. I'm gonna stop going to Wikipedia. Let me see. Executive orders. Let me see. I'm trying to be fair. I am trying to be fair. Maybe this video can say what his executive orders were. I'm trying to be fair. That's not it.
Because as of today, lobbyists will be subject to stricter limits than under any other administration in history. If you are a lobbyist entering my administration, you will not be able to work on matters you lobbied on or in the agencies you lobbied during the previous 2 years. When you leave government, you will not be able to lobby my administration for as long as I am president. Also hold myself as president to a new standard of openness. And I will, I hope, do something to make government trustworthy in the eyes of the American people in the days and weeks, months, and years to come. That's a pretty good place to start. Thank you very much. All right. So, all right.
Is that specifically doing things for Black people? What are we talking about? Oh, I forgot. This was a show for women because this was all about Kamala Harris putting two, or rather putting two and two together and having a Madam President finally once again, so Black women can glorify themselves. I get it. I certainly get it. And you haven't had one. You have all these specific presidents. You've had one Black president, right? You had all these white presidents. I get it. I got it. But I just feel, and a whole bunch of niggas feel, that it is high time that we're not ready. We are not ready for a Black president yet. Hey, how are you? You called me at the right time when I wasn't cussing. You caught me at the right time. You caught me at the right time. We're just hearkening back on, men and women talk. Why are we not getting along to get along with one another? Here in the United States, this is just YouTube stuff. This is just YouTube stuff. But the fact remains that we are separated from each other for a reason. And that reason is it's a plethora of things: ego, pride. It's a lot. Men or women are supposed to be submissive to women, women are supposed to be submissive to men, and I'm not saying that America. I'm not saying that America itself doesn't have issues, because it does have its issues, just like everybody else has issues. But the one thing that I will say is that America is the safest place that there is. But I can't say for anywhere else, because I don't live anywhere else. I haven't been outside of the United States. It's the eagle on exactly, because men, not God, because you can't blame. A lot of people say, well, God put us on this earth. No. That's escapism. God has nothing to do with man making decisions based on what they feel. Man makes decisions based on what they think should be. Maybe it has something to do with a little bit of feelings, but it has something to do with ego. A lot of people were egotistically driven. Look at Tiberior Tobel, or whatever his name is, from Russia. Look at Hitler. Look at all these, Saddam Hussein. Look all these other people who are ego driven. I have to put in what's that dude's name? Fidel Castro. I had to put in Fidel Castro. He was ego driven. But the thing about Fidel Castro is he was 1,000% for his people, even though there were white Cubans and he wasn't even a Cuban. There were those specific Cubans that were not for, disobeyed his direct order and got executed. But there was a specific reason why he met Malcolm and Martin. There was a specific reason why he met Malcolm and Martin. I'll say it again. There was a specific reason why he met Malcolm and Martin. So, but I got to throw his name in the hat as well. There are egotistical, ego-driven men in this country who make executive decisions, executive orders, and either it works for them or it falls on it falls on its shoulders, and everything gets destroyed. What man creates, man also destroys. I'll say it again. What man creates, man also, well, let me not put that word creation in there. God is the only one that creates. What man builds, he can also destroy. So we try our best to try to maintain a healthy lifestyle. We try to have fun. We do have fun. We do have fun, and we make jokes and stuff like that. Let me hold on. Get you a better view. Do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you would like to become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel, please do so by clicking on that link and selecting what badge you want. How can I get out of here? Okay, let me go ahead. Turn back on the light. All right, that virtual reality shit's getting on my nerves. But basically, that mainly all America is. I mean, we've been victims here for so long. I mean, we're just starting now to see, that, the country isn't what we think it is, but yet underneath that, we try to laugh, we try to joke, we try to, have good times with one another, right? but in the end, it's all about survival. And this is the reason why I came up with this question. Why are we as Americans, as American Africans living in America, why are we so separated? That's what I would want to know. That's the only question I ask, is why are we so separated? When it comes to relationships, when it comes to politics, when it comes to anything, as a matter of fact. And I'm not saying that women are ego driven, which some of them are. I'm just saying we don't know how to quite respect one another good enough to even come to a decision, right? We don't respect one another to come to a executive decision when it comes to family. I hear a lot of Black men talk about families. The only way to strengthen the economy is to become family again. You don't respect your women good enough. And this is why some of the women, they depart from you. You have made so much about this whole gender war situation that has become ridiculous. It's ridiculous because there is no such thing as a gender war. It's just all a misunderstanding. That's just all it is. It's just all a misunderstanding at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, you're going to make a decision whether you want to be with us, you want to stand for us, or stand against us. And let me not get on, Africans from different countries that want to come to this country and all they do is they work. But no, they're what are they, what's the language? Tethers. Africans are tethers and they want to get these things that Black people have gotten before them and blah 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 blah. I'm like, Negro, most of us were in chains. It's not every Black man was enslaved, not every Black man was incarcerated or incriminated. You don't know what your position is. That's why you fake hustling right now. I get sick and tired of these hustlers, these specific hustlers. But that's what we do. So this is the reason why we have our own tribes here in America. Just like we have so many tribes in Africa, which I would love to be a part of because some tribes in Africa, it just seems so wonderful to be around. You would like to study for example, where I could be from or where my ancestors could be from. So instead of studying that, we're studying how to make a quick buck. That's just America. So there's the good things and then there's the bad things about America. You know what I'm saying? There's the good things, there's the bad things about America. There's the ups and downs, the rights, the wrongs. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. So if you have any questions for me, and she is very, very, she is wonderful. She is wonderful. Just met her. She has a good chat. Everybody, if you could, Miss African Uganda, if you can, Miss Uganda, put your address in the back chat, your your online your channel. Put your channel in the chat, and I want people to go to Miss Uganda's channel, and she asks, you know, what I mean, she just basically she asks questions, and she's a good singer too. I heard her blow a horn, and she knows how to sing, right? But when you go over there, be mindful, be respectful, you know, and she'll answer any question that you want. But let's get into another clip that another reason why we can't get along, or a reason why we're so separated.
Disrespectful to the United States. If you're trying to say that that's ethical, that wasn't proof to watch it. Everything you said is known and void. Okay.
That's another
so let me
example
tell
of
you
something
that's
that didn't happen.
unethical. No, don't make an excuse for that. Don't make an excuse for that. You're done.
He told
Okay.
them to go peacefully.
You've talked. You're done. Okay. Heard it. Got it. Great. All I'm saying is, if you sit here and say that it's ethical to send people to the Capitol without any excuse or all these other nuances that you're going to throw out there, it's not ethical to have anyone run to the country, or the capital of the country, and disrespect it and kill people, and then sit back and act like that ain't my fault. Okay? So it is unethical. So there's not just racism. He's unethical compared to the other candidate to represent the United States of America. And that's just how I feel. And ain't got nothing.
That's what we end up doing for all 4 years around this time. This is just how we act. It's getting increasingly ridiculous. It just is. And I would just love for a person just to answer my question. Why is it that we are so separated? Why?
Okay? It got something to do with what he actually did.
All right. Well, if you're landing there, I just want to respond to that real quick. If she's landing,
hold on,
because everything she said is actually
Please
false.
tell him to stop. He said enough. We're moving on.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Everybody just keep talking.
I'm sorry that I have I know what I'm talking about, and you can't stand
let's
it.
get some other people. Let's get some other people in.
No, you just talk too much, Cloud. Sometimes you lose me. I'd be like, all right, you lost me.
I talk because I have things to say. You don't, so you should be quiet.
Let's get
Save it for another concept. Save it for another night.
Things to say. I'm sorry that you don't.
You got a PhD in everything. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm intelligent. Unfortunately, you're not. That's not my problem. Intelligent people tend to have things
I got
to say.
an MBA in my own business, and you looking like fucking baby Hubie right now. So shut
MBA
up.
don't
Get out
mean
of
nothing.
here.
I've been running my own business since I left high school, shorty. It's nothing to run a business.
Swerve.
Oh, you're in your feelings.
Swerve. Yeah, however you want to feel. I said what I said.
You're emotional.
Okay.
And this is
I said what I
this is
said.
why y'all don't run nothing.
All right, so listen up. State Farm was trying to
Dude, what the hell is going on? Breaking your heart. She is breaking your heart. Hearing that, it breaks my heart. Well, how can I explain it? How can I explain this? It's not all bad. I should have put a disclaimer. I just put a disclaimer in there. But America is not all bad. We are supposed to embrace ourselves. Everyone hates us. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Well, that's not, again, that's not always the case, because not everybody thinks that way. We have a variety of people here. We have African, Jamaican, Haitian. I have Haitian people living underneath me right as we speak. And we get along just fine. We get along just great. I mean, that's like I've been knowing these people for 8 years, and we have never fought, never had an argument. I had taken their kids to school. I've helped them out in various ways. I have done pretty much that a person can do, right? But that's how I get along with people, right? Am I off top? No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. I was just specifically asking the question, and then you came up, and I was like, because you're from Africa, you're from Uganda, and Uganda, Kenya, Ghana, the Congo, Sydney. It doesn't matter where you are, right? It doesn't matter where you are in a specific. I'm sure that there are different things. There are different things that different emotions that people go through in Africa. But I believe for the most part, most of it can be good. Well, it's the same thing over here in America. You just got to see the forest from the trees. Now I can point out various places that that are good vacation spots. Obviously, good vacation spots that people can go to. I can point out various things that people can get into. I can do that. Hell, I used to be an Uber driver, and I would point out various things that people can get into, right? Especially here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'll point out various things that people can get into, right? So it's not all serious. It's not all politics. But people get in. But when it comes to this online stuff, that's just what people get into. I mean, it's all part of it's all like a court of public opinion type stuff. So you're just fine. You're just fine. But let me get back into the video. Oops. I'll put it on baseball.
You're unable to listen, you're unable to learn.
Everything you said is known and void. You be on point. And then you talk yourself out of shit. You
so
talk
many
too much.
times because your vocabulary is unable to create a better insult. You don't even have a better
It don't matter, baby. It don't matter, baby. It ain't stopping nothing here. It ain't stopping nothing here.
How did you go to college and you can't? You could at least call me an imbecile.
No, you got a PhD.
Upgrade
You
your
the one.
insult.
You're the scientist. You're the fucking. You got all the degrees.
Yes,
you know
yes,
everything.
that's obvious. I'm
yeah,
intelligent.
you know all
You're
about
not.
foreign policy.
You're
You
not
know
going to shame me
everything.
for being more intelligent.
So okay.
You're not going to shame me for being smarter than you. No, I'm sorry. You're not going to do that. Yes, I'm smarter than you. I understand that. That's obvious to anybody.
Just shut up, though. Just shut up.
You want me to shut up because you feel bad because you're not smart and you don't have a rebuttal. You don't have any information to battle me with. But I'm going to continue and
no
talk
one's
about
trying to battle you. I told you I don't argue with stupid, and you still ain't figured it out yet.
So then why are you still talking, lady? You're not even standing by your own principles. You don't even stand by your own principles. If you think I'm stupid, why are you talking?
Whatever.
Look at JR. Look at poor old JR.
Let's hear how big your vocabulary is.
You're right, I'm wrong.
Actually, if you go back and actually watch the speech instead of looking at the clips that are taken from the media and listening to what the media tells you, you'll know for a fact if you quote Trump exactly.
Snopes will even tell you. Are we still on the same subject?
If you fact check with Snopes and you check, hey, is it true that Donald Trump incited a riot? They will tell you no. Donald Trump incited a riot. He literally told them to go peacefully. He literally told them to go there and march peacefully and protest. So again, you're proving that you have no education on the topic because you're reiterating things that have been proven to be false.
Oh, you still talking to me? You still talking to me?
Obviously.
I don't even know what you was talking about. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I know your comprehension skills are very little. I understand that. But yes, I was talking to you.
Oh my gosh, Cloud needs a moment. Cloud needs more time. I'm not move on, baby, because I'm done.
Nevada families deserve a future they can afford. Senator Jackie Rosen is the leader who will put us first.
Hi, I'm Micheline, and I'm a therapist that goes to therapy.
I don't care.
You might be thinking, why does some...
That's how you play.
Get submissive tone. That's what I like.
Submissive man with y'all weapons.
I don't know what he...
Women on this panel
Well, this just goes to show you. I honestly think the whole energy of this panel would change if the women on this panel were covered by a husband.
Yeah, I think some of the men that need to have women that think they know about women, if they have a real woman, their perception would be a whole lot different too. That's somebody that ain't never had nobody right for them. That's why they think the way they think. You know, and I feel sorry for that person that they never had that type of love and respect from a Black woman, that you got to deal with those type of opinions and verbal abuse, attack. Again, men always having a problem with women. But,
Thank you for being a new subscriber, Miss Lady Wolfpack. Thank you for being a new subscriber. Do appreciate you. Do appreciate you. What is it? I mean, you need some people just need to stay on topic, and them two being one of them. But what did she say? The media is not for the weak. Got that right. The media is not for the weak. Me hearing how they are exchanging words, it scares me. I digress. I just I told you. It's just a court of it's called a court of public opinion for a reason. Everybody feels that they are right in their own little way, but it doesn't. The simple fact is that if it's not the truth, you're going to go on based on what you think, what you feel. That's called your truth. You're spilling what your truth, what you have read, what you have read from the media, or what you read from the tabloids, what you read from the newspapers, basically. But again, we're just here. We're not judges. We're not prosecutors. We're not defenders. We're not any type of. We're not Supreme Court justices or stuff like that. Take care, Bridge. Have a good one. We're not none of that. We're just regular people on the internet. That's all we are. We're just regular people on the internet trying to get some type of therapy from this thing, right? We're just trying to get some type of therapy, trying to get some type of resolution. We're just trying to resolve some things through the internet, and that's not necessarily the case. You have to. If I wanted to do, thank you for subbing, Montrese. Montrese, is that you? What up, King? Thank you for subbing, brother. Thank you for subbing. So that's all we're doing, Queen. That's all this is. You don't hear as much arguing. You don't hear as much arguing back and forth through different, I would say, through different channels, but that's rare. That's rare nowadays because, they say that men are hurt, men are tired, men go through too much stuff when it comes to this government, men go through too much when it comes to many different factors. But most of it they want to blame on females, which isn't right, isn't correct. And people like me and others, we try to balance it out to some degree. I mean, I can't do everything by myself, but what we do is we try to come together in some form of fashion and try to weather the storm and try to balance the good with the evil with the good. That's what we basically do. On top of that, try to crack jokes and have a good time and stuff like that. But this is the reason why I find other Native Africans in different YouTube streams. I do that all the time. I do that with my Jamaican brothers and sisters. I do that with my Haitian brothers and sisters. And I have a Jamaican sister from Carolina. We've met personally. We've met one-on-one, and she does excellent live streams, and all she does is cook. She cooks. She goes into her garden, and sometimes she talks politics, but the most thing she does is she talks church. She talks church. Her name is Trev. But definitely go ahead and subscribe to Uganda. You can ask her all types of questions. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to Miss Uganda. But as for you, Montrese, I see this dude eating plant-based chips. This dude is eating plant-based chips and just spitting facts where facts should be spit. He's spitting facts where facts should be spit. Hey, it is what the hell it is. What we got? What's good, Dom? Hey, Lock. Trump did say go peacefully. I'm not saying that he didn't say that because I was the one there when he said that. But again, when it comes to man and his decision to go to the Capitol and storm the Capitol and put their freaking feet up on the tables, on the desk, on the chairs, they're going to look at him for that and they're going to blame him for that. But that's not the reason why he did not have a second term. The reason why he did not have a second term is not only did they have to clean up the mess that they made, which was under his watch, but he blew whistles. He blew government whistles. And when you blow a government, why do you think they planted all them? They planted all them charges on him. He 80, what? He's 70, 78, 79 years old, and they planted some middle-aged white woman on him. Come on now. I'm not dumb. I was born at night, not last night.
Okay, you can move on.
We have a problem
Black
with
women
each
love
other,
me. I don't know
girl.
what
We
she
have a
talking
problem with each other.
All the time.
I
I
love
love me
Aisha.
some black women.
No, go ahead,
Black
Aisha. What
women
you
I
talking
know
about?
got intelligence.
What your thoughts about what's been going on? The first day, huh?
Oh wow. I have a lot of thoughts. I think that first of all, as black people, in America, non-immigrants, black people are the only people that did not immigrate to this country. Okay. So I think that for one, everybody needs to get on code, just like all the other communities. I just see a whole lot of bickering back and forth, and nobody's getting on code. And I think that when you make decisions in life, you got to think with your head and not on your emotions. Because honestly, I don't care who racist. They all racist on both sides. All of them got racist policies. I'm looking at right now how this is affecting my life today.
This is affecting damn it!
How this is affecting my daughter life, how it's going to affect me within the next 8 years. So I'm looking for.
I just thought of something. And I said this like a couple of weeks ago. If you had a particular topic that you want me to hit on, please let me know. Let me know in the chat what you would like for me to talk about. And I'll try to analyze it and you know, give it my all, the best of my ability to talk about it. If you want me to talk about politics, I will try my best to talk about politics. If you want me to talk about relationships, I will try my hardest to talk about relationships. If you want me to talk about sports, I'm not really a good advocate of sports, but I'll try my best because nowadays my teams ain't winning the way they should. If you want to talk about this, you want me to talk about that, please let me know in the comment section below. When it comes to We-On-Loc Nation, We-On-Loc Nation specifically means we are information based. That's what the name is about. We are information based, and it's our information that we share together because we know who we are. We should know who we are as a people. We should know based on where we were, where we've been, where our ancestors, our great ancestors, our great grandfathers, our great 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 grandfathers, our ancestors, period. Where we have the information, we should. One of the reasons why the white man was so heavy set on chipping the nose off of King Tut should mean something. Not King Tut. Yeah, King Tut should mean something to some people. But apparently it doesn't. And this is why Malcolm stood on the horizons and behind him was King Tut. King of Tut, not King Tut. King of Tut had his nose chopped off on the fact that Napoleon tried to blow up the whole entire stature of the face of King Soot. It says basically what I need to know about white folks. But he also said he fought like hell. If you don't like hell, you will lose the country. He also waited 3 hours before he called it off. He did wait for 3 hours before he called it off. He snapped his face. See, this is the thing that they like. What people like about what black men and white men like about Trump. Not everybody though. This is the reason why they like about Trump. He talks ish all the time. I didn't cuss. I censored myself. I said ish. He talks ish all the time, and he does back it up to some degree. When has any Democrat backed up anything? When have they ever backed up their claim? When have they ever backed up the state? The only thing that Obama ever did was shut down the government. Shut down the government and kill and deleted Bin Laden. That's his only credibility. Other than that, where did he take the direction of black people? Nowhere. As a matter of fact, on his campaign, 2 young men, he was somewhere in the United States campaigning at that time, and 2 black men stood in the high rises above him and were shouting things at him, basically asking him, so what are you going to do for black people? And they end up getting kicked out. So you hating on your own people. No, you show your face. You show your face whenever a black man is in charge. Have you ever thought to ask yourself what happened to Kill Kirkpatrick back then? Kill Kirkpatrick, the ex-mayor from Detroit. Did anybody ask about that? Anybody ask about that governor from Chicago? Why he's such in hot water? I don't hear nothing. I don't hear nothing. But for the discretion for Mrs. Uganda, this is where the ego comes in. right? Not everybody is egotistical. Not everybody is egotistical. Not everybody is everybody is different, right? You got to take the good and the bad with everybody. But I say when you're egotistical and your brain goes 3 more notches than what it really is, then you have to question that individual. And that's what I think Barack Obama was. He was the egotistical son of a gun. It is what it is. But this just wants me to learn more about my African continent. That's why I got a big giant book. Ooh. I got a big giant book on Africa. And before I end up stepping on any other land, I want to know more about it. And I think that's what Black people really need to be concerned about, is to get back to their lineages, get back to their Africanity, because this shit ain't going to work. This is not going to work. Sorry, I cut.
Plans that's directly going to impact me. And I'm not going off of emotions or because somebody's a woman or because whoever is this. I don't care. I'm looking at it like this. Kamala and them been in office too long. 16 years out of the last 20, just to be quite frank. And Black people, we ain't got nowhere. We still doing the same thing. So I think that something does have to change. And I don't think that anybody should be judging people based on a decision that they choose that's best for them and their livelihood.
Like and share, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the channel. And if you have not yet, please become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel.
You know, groceries done went up ×3. We paying 2 years later, we paying 3 times more for groceries than we was 3 years ago. So certain things need to be addressed. And I'm tired of all these, we got to bring everybody to the party. Everybody got to come to the table. All these lift out programs. Everything she said the other day, that was a lift out program. It was like, you got to be careful with words. Minority mean everybody. Okay. That includes everybody. That doesn't include us. And when we do that kumbaya, bring everybody to the picnic, they hang us out to dry. We end up getting the less. So I think they would think with their head and not with their emotions. Just like he said, I would love to see a Black woman president, but it's gonna have to be the right. You know what I mean? And the Democrats ain't cutting it. They lost us. We got them the person to do what they needed to do. Nobody voted for Kamala the first time. Remember, she had to settle. Nobody voted for her because they're not doing nothing for anybody. For the USA, you say USA, they're not doing nothing for America for bringing in more immigrants. So that's how I feel about that topic. But I think that everybody needs to get on code as Black people, and we all need to come together on the topic.
Do anybody, because I don't know about politics, but because I think what most people was worried about, what was the country looking like when the Republicans was in office?
More excuses. No more excuses. I exited the penitentiary.
I want to show you something. And I got it running. I got it running right now. I wanted to show you something.
Or a Black woman, a woman of color. Even if you take the word Black, we'll go woman of color.
We got to stay with Black,
okay,
and we're going to talk about why.
Okay, but I'm saying
it can't be woman of color.
For the rest of the representation, for the rest of the world to look at the United States of America and the pageantry that we represent, what would be a better choice of identity in pageantry than a white man that's all about money and told us that he cares,
which is called capitalist,
cares nothing about us but cares about him. That's the pageantry. or a woman that at least, and just start a woman that at least shows that she has some sense of compassion, empathy for the people of the United States of America.
She has passion and empathy for the United States of America. She does not have passion and empathy for you as a black man or a woman.
Right there. You said a woman who shows that she has some compassion for the people of the United States of America.
Right.
But this is the same woman who said America is not a racist country. This is the same woman who said, I'm not going to do anything that's going to only benefit black people, while she sat in office and watched President Joe Biden pass an anti-Asian hate bill, anti-Asian hate executive order, Native American executive order, LGBTQ executive order, and law. So how can Kamala Harris, the so-called black woman, say that I can't do anything just for black people, but you sat in the White House for 4 years with President Biden and watch him take care of specific groups of non-white people, and you didn't demand one thing for your own black people that you claim to be a part of?
Now, again, because those are a lot of semantics in the sense, because we've heard this argument before. She can say a lot of that stuff is taken out of context. A lot of the process of when she's saying she wants to do things for all people and not just black people specifically. Okay. We also know that bill, the Asian hate bill, is actually a bill that is for all.
No, it's not. Did you read it?
I mean, it's a long bill.
Read it.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. They only discuss Asian and Pacific Islander hate in the COVID-19 hate crimes bill. It is not for everybody. It is for Asians and Pacific Islanders.
Okay.
Now stay with me.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with them protecting
as they should,
Asians and
especially
Pacific Islanders.
It was very specific in that moment.
Yes,
because a lot of that was
my problem.
Right.
My problem
is
that how do the Asians get an anti-hate bill after one massacre? And don't get me wrong, that's enough to get a bill. But black people been catching hell for 4 centuries, and we ain't got one yet. And what's been done to us is way worse than what has ever been done to any other group.
There are many we have protected over the history.
Name me one bill in American history that was written just for black folks since the end of slavery. Give me one. Because the Civil Rights Bill was for everybody. The James Byrd anti-lynch, that's for everybody.
The Civil Rights Bill was definitely ushered in by us.
So let me ask you a question. It might have been ushered in by you. All the bills were ushered in by us. Right. But who benefited the most? Affirmative action and the Civil Rights Bill benefited homosexuals and white women far more than it benefited black people. In fact, the Dixiecrats and the Republicans refused to sign it.
Affirmative action?
Yes.
Wow.
There's been recent, yes. And let me tell you how that was. The Republicans and the Dixiecrats told Lyndon Baines Johnson, we're not signing the 1964 Civil Rights Bill if you only limit it to black people. They demanded that you add gender and sexual orientation as protected categories. That's how it ended up including gender, race, ethnicity, all the protected codes.
Right.
Because they said this is not just going to be about black people, because there's an unwritten rule in this country where you don't make laws just for black people.
Well, going back to what I said, as in the pageantry of representation, you still would lean more to say that you would, this old, rich, billionaire, 1% white man, be the representation of the United States of America, opposed to a woman who has done the work.
What work?
She's definitely done community work.
What has she done for black people? I don't want to hear about people of color, because all these other groups within the rainbow, stay with me, can't stand black people any more than white folks. So one of the biggest mistakes we've made in the post-civil rights era was allowing this government to redefine us as people of color. We are not people of color. We are the American Africans, the descendants of those who were kidnapped, brought here, and forced to work for free. We have nothing in common with the Asians, the Latinos, the East Indians, the Arabs, the Chinaman. None of them were enslaved, Nick. Everybody came to America as people. We came to America as property.
I ain't even have to say anything. I just let him cook. I let him cook for a reason.
Can't argue.
What has she done for us? What has Joe Biden done for us? What has Barack Obama done for us?
Again.
What has Bill Clinton done for us? What has Jimmy Carter done for us?
But because this is the thing, I'm not going to disagree with you because I'm not a Democrat nor am I a Republican. But pure representation.
I think I got a. I would love to dance. How's everybody doing this evening? Everybody right? Everybody okay? Everybody good? Anybody will. Damn. Tell you what, I'll come back tonight. Anybody want to chop it up with the kid? I'll come back tonight. We'll go ahead and chop it up. All right. We only got a few minutes left, so anybody want to come back and chop it up with the kid about any topic that they want to throw at me at? Any topic they want to throw at me, this will be open panel. Open panel. Later on today around 5 o'clock. Let's try 5 o'clock. And if, wait a minute. I forgot it's 3 o'clock now. So we'll make it 6. We'll go ahead and make it 6 o'clock. Anybody want to tackle anything on any particular topic around 6 o'clock? You can definitely do that. Definitely do that. But I appreciate everybody here. I appreciate the new subs. Like I said, for the, tell a friend about the We-On-Loc Nation channel. And any topic that, any topic you want me to go, any questions you want to ask of me, you can go ahead and do so. And I will try my best to answer those particular questions. All right.
Because we're not talking policy right now.
Okay, but you're dealing in empty symbolism, Nick.
So what has she done for us? What has the other side done for us?
Neither. And that's why I don't listen. I am an advocate of black people running away. I want to see an underground railroad away from the Democratic Party plantation, and I want to see an underground railroad away from the Republican Party plantation. Run your ass away. Get off the plantation.
So what's the solution? Because
the solution is for the black vote to get organized and to make demands and only exchange your vote for concessions that come from the candidates. We're going to lose no matter who wins.
That's not going to happen in this
one. The black vote is disorganized.
Are we going back to the Garvey mentality of we got to go get our own?
We need to, but I don't think we're there. See, I think too many American Africans are motivated by a pursuit to be accepted by white people.
Wow.
I believe the basic goal and direction of black American thought is to be accepted by white people. It's necessary. We don't want freedom because we don't want the accountability and responsibility that comes with freedom.
Wow.
If white people told black America, we're going to give y'all the 10 biggest ghettos, we're leaving. They're yours, everything.
Yeah.
Gas, electric, water, welfare, housing, land. You run Chicago. You run Los Angeles. You run Houston. You run Atlanta. You run Philly. We're gone. Negroes will go get them white folks and bring them back the next morning for breakfast. Black people don't want no world without white folks. Everything we do is to copy white folks and to be included by them.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. So I got to just ask this question then. For this election, what we're faced up against, who is Dr. Umar Johnson voting for?
I don't have a reason to vote for either candidate. I might show up and vote for the Honorable Frederick Douglass. I might vote for Queen Mother Ida B. Wells.
Marcus
I might vote for Sojourner Truth. I might vote for Booker T. I might vote for Fred Hampton, George Jackson. But I promise you one thing, I'm not voting for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Here's the thing, Brother Nick. Trump had 4 years.
He did.
You've been in there before.
Yeah.
So if you cared about us so much, Why we didn't get nothing from you? After the George Floyd protest,
he's saying he did. He said he did a lot.
A lie.
The HBCUs.
The HBCUs are struggling. And the big reason why the HBCUs are struggling is because Joe Biden, your Democratic president, changed the name on the White House Initiative HBCUs. Now the White House Initiative on minority serving institutions. Yes, so now it ain't just about the HBCU. It ain't about those who are the posterity of those who built this country. Now, if you serving Latinos, if you serving homosexuals, if you serving migrants, you can get some of that HBCU money too. That's what they're not talking about. It's no longer just for HBCUs. It's for minority serving institutions, MSI. Wow. And one of the worst things the Democrats did to us is they redefined black people within the definition of people of color. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Our 7, we all represent a different ethnic group, right? Mm-hmm. But we're people of color.
Right.
So when I go to the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, and I say, what percentage of contracts did black people get? I don't know what percentage of contracts black people got, Dr. Umar, but people of color got 30% of California contracts. And then when I go through the list of all the people of color, ain't a black person on the list. People of color, Brother Nick, is a way for them to take care of everybody else and exclude black people while making you think you included as well. We allow them to define out of existence.
And with that being said, my brothers and sisters, with that being said, I will see you later on in the next 3 hours or so. Y'all get a drink, Coke, beverage, eat, relax. And then if you like, come back. We'll have an open panel.